Hello, and welcome to this training on social engineering. By the end of this course, you should be ready and able to understand what social engineering is, the different types of social engineering, and how to prevent from becoming a victim of social engineering at your property. All right, so let's get started. So what is social engineering? Most of us are used to hearing words like hacking, baiting, spear phishing, shoulder surfing, and many others. Social engineering is a means of deceiving and manipulating individuals into providing confidential or personal information that may be used to commit fraud. Scams based on social engineering are built around how people think and act. As such, social engineering attacks are especially useful for manipulating a user's behavior. Once an attacker understands what motivates a user's actions, they can then deceive and manipulate the user effectively. Being in the hospitality industry, we are trained and drilled to go out of our way to provide the utmost best customer service to all who reach out to our properties. However, it is also our job to make sure that we are doing this legitimately and do not fall prey to these scammers. Generally, social engineering attackers have one of two goals. The first one is sabotage. Sabotaging the person or business causes a disruption or corruption of data to cause harm to a business or just to inconvenience them. This could be that disgruntled ex-employee or customer that went a little too far in trying to get back at a specific person or company. Second is for the purpose of theft. When theft is the motive, the hacker does not care who they are inconveniencing. The bottom line for them is to obtain as much valuable information as possible for financial gain. Most social engineering attackers rely on actual communication between attackers and victims. The attacker intends to motivate the user into compromising themselves rather than using brute force methods to breach the hotel's data system. The attack cycle gives these criminals a reliable process for deceiving you. Steps for the social engineering attack cycle are usually as follows: prepare, infiltrate, exploitation, and disengage. The first step is to prepare. The hacker will prepare by gathering background information on the hotel and those that are in management to make themselves sound even more believable. Hackers know that there is a high turnover rate in the hospitality industry, and so new hires are their favorite targets and the easiest ones to scam. New hires may not have met all persons in the management team yet and wouldn't know that they are really not talking to the quote unquote so-called owner. The second step is to infiltrate. Infiltration can occur in multiple ways, ranging from voice calls, fraudulent emails, face-to-face interaction, and social media. This is one of the main reasons why it is in the employee handbook not to access personal email or social media sites on work computers. During the infiltration process, they have called the hotel property and are introducing themselves off as someone that they think will gain them the access. They can introduce themselves as the owner of the property, the general manager, or even claiming to be with technical support with your hotel brand. They are going to build up your trust with some small talk to guarantee that you truly believe they are who they say they are. Once the hacker has talked with you long enough, they have secretly begun trying to locate a weakness. It is common with frontline staff that when they feel they are speaking with a manager, they will unknowingly submit to any requests made by this so-called manager or tech support representative. At this point, this is when the hacker will start making demands or requests. These requests can range from anything from visiting a specific website, opening a forwarded email, breaking into the hotel safe, or even breaking into an office. Please know that the owners or managers will never ask you to do anything with cash or force your way into the safe or an office. Management knows you do not have access to either of those things for a reason. Your hotel tech support will also never call you to download or allow access into the computers or system at any time. The only time they will request access to the system is if you have called the tech support phone number, at which point it is okay because you initiated the phone call. If you ever have any doubts on who you are speaking with, hang up immediately and call your manager. If you hang up on the real owner, manager, or tech support agent, you will not get in trouble for taking the proper precautions. The final step in the process is the hacker will disengage from the call. In other words, they will wipe their traces of the hack and either end the call immediately if they've obtained what they needed, or give you further steps to complete the desired action. So now let's focus on how to prevent an attack from happening to you or at your property. Never click on any attachments that look suspicious or come from a suspicious email. There will be times that you do receive emails such as credit card authorizations from companies that you may have not asked for. Ask your manager if you have any doubts, but as you get more familiar with the companies your hotel does business with, you will become more familiar with fake emails. When on a phone call, you never want to give out addresses, telephone numbers, names, room numbers, or payment information of guests. Unless you have an authorized phone number for a manager, you don't want to give out information regarding fellow employees or managers either. You also never know who may be lurking around the corner of the front desk listening to everything you're saying. You may run into a situation where they are claiming to be the person or the spouse of the person. Your only response should be, "Unfortunately, due to the security of your information, I'm not able to provide that information to you over the phone." If you have to step away from your computer to help a guest or do a property walk, always make sure and secure your computer before you leave. All you have to do is push the Windows icon button on the bottom row of the keyboard and the L key at the same time. Just make sure you know the password to be able to log back into the computer when you've returned. Your manager will be able to provide this to you. These scammers do their research and know the ins and outs of who they are scamming. They may even go as far as to know the exact names of the owners or your managers. If you ever have any doubts and do not recognize the voice of who you're talking to, or what they're asking you to do makes no sense or makes you uncomfortable, hang up the phone immediately. Make sure to document the scam call in SARS. If it so happened to actually have been the real owner or manager, you will never get in trouble for hanging up on them as a precautionary measure. We would rather you be careful than fall prey to one of these career scammers. As a frontline employee, it is up to you to keep the hotel safe from scammer attempts and social engineering. You are the initial point of contact when answering phones and receiving emails. Remember to always be very careful with what websites you visit and what information you give over the phone. If you feel uncomfortable at any time, just don't do it. Forward the information to your manager, and they are always there to help direct you for future instances. Thank you for remaining vigilant and keeping our hotels safe and secure for our guests. This concludes the training on social engineering.